Hey friends, we are about 3 weeks from our average last frost date, which means we can plant our potatoes out early. So I'll take you back and show you how we prepared these, and we'll get them planted in the pumpkin patch. Okay, we can plant this as is, but if you plant it, like let's say you plant it like that, so these will turn into stems that will grow up. So if we did that, then that means this one would have a really hard time reaching the surface. So we can just say, oh well, and plant it like this, or we can evaluate the situation and cut them in half. Let me see. Okay, so now if you plant it like this, the eyes will have an easier time of growing upward. So I'm just going to take a second and look these over and decide what I want to do. All right, so all of them are cut in half is what I ended up doing. Now the next thing to consider is, are all of these worth planting? For example, one little eye right there, is this worth planting? No, I don't think so. So what we could do is cut here and plant just that and save this, rinse it off and cook with it. These are still perfectly good potatoes. A little dirty right now, but they grow in the dirt, so you just rinse them off and you use them. So we can plant that. I'm not sure if I'm going to yet, but that is an option. Some of these have enough eyes to where we only need one of them in one grow bag, because that's gonna give enough vines to where we don't want to overcrowd the grow bag. So for like this one would be like one bag, one bag, one bag, one bag, one bag. I don't have a million grow bags, so I have to really decide how many I want to do. Okay, I think I've decided I'm gonna give six grow bags to this potato project. So these 6 here. The rest of these, some of them are pretty good. Like this is pretty good, but not as good as these. So 1 per potato grow bag. I have 3 yellow potatoes or golden potatoes or whatever they were, and then a russet and 2 red potatoes. So I'm gonna have all 3 kinds here, and that's fine. Next step is, if you're going to chit the potatoes, that means you're gonna put it in a sunny spot so these eyes will continue growing, and just kind of getting a head start on that process. So we can set these like this, preferably not on an eye. Let them dry out. That way they don't start to mold right away when you plant them. You let them dry out, heal over, scar over, whatever, to where they're dry. And then you plant them. So you can do that while also chitting in sun, like on your windowsill or whatever. Or just stick them in your pantry. Wherever you want to put them is fine. It's not going to matter if they turn green, because we're not eating them right now. So it doesn't matter if they're sitting out in the sun, because when your potatoes sit in the sun is when they turn green. I think that's good. So I'm going to rinse these off and cook these up. Probably mashed potatoes is what we usually do. And they're good. They're good to eat. We'll put them right here. Let them heal over for 2 days or so. It is after dinner time. So these are just going to sit in water in the fridge, and they won't turn brown if they sit in water. And they won't rot either, because they'll be in the fridge. And tomorrow, I think I'll make mashed potatoes and I'll roast up a chicken. So they are completely dry and healed over. So they're good for planting. They start to shrivel up a little bit too. So hopefully they won't rot right away. We got 6 of them. We don't have the drip turned on yet. We have to repair a few drip lines. So for now, I'm going to have these potato bags near the front part, because the hose comes from behind you and over this way, and I'm going to hand water them, and then I'll move them where I want them whenever I'm ready to set up the drip. So let me pick out the bags that I want to use for this, and we'll get that part done. These are too full to start the potatoes in, so I'm going to scoop out the dirt. I could see that the soil was super compacted, and it's good to have loose soil when you're planting your potatoes. That way they'll get big and not be restricted by hard soil. So we're gonna dump all these out, soften it up, and then put the soil back in. And instead of just scooping out some, because it was just too hard for that. One thing about planting potatoes that you bought from the grocery store is that you don't know the exact variety. I mean, russet obviously is russet, but then like the red and the gold, unless it specifically says Yukon Gold or red Pontiac or whatever it might be, you don't actually know the variety, and therefore you don't actually know if it's determinate or indeterminate. Determinate will just grow near the mother plant in like the seed potato that you planted, and it'll grow potatoes around that towards the bottom. So you want to give it plenty of dirt underneath that potato that you plant. It's not going to grow up the vine, and it's not going to do more roots and more potatoes the more you hill it up. An indeterminate tomato, however, will. So if you don't know if you have a determinate or an indeterminate, then you don't know the best way to plant your potatoes. So it is good to buy your seed potatoes from wherever, a box store, online, wherever you want to. That way you know what kind of potato they are, but we're just going to treat these all the same way since we don't know. All 6 bags are filled about 5 or 6 inches high for the potatoes. And they're all placed strategically over a weed and near the gate, so I'll be able to water them. All right, we'll plant these here in a bit. I'm gonna wait for Evan to get home and do this part because he wants to do more stuff in the videos with you guys. Okay, so yesterday, Evan did not want to participate, and I had like a screaming migraine. So it's a new day. I have no idea what I've told you. So start over a little bit. All these grow bags have about 6 inches of compost in them, and then the excess compost are in these 2 totes here. So there's determinate and indeterminate potatoes, and I bought these from the grocery store. They're organic potatoes, golden, red, and russet. So I don't know if they're determinate or indeterminate. I'm just gonna treat them all the same way. So we're gonna put them in the bag at the bottom, cover them with an inch of dirt, water them, keep an eye on them, and whenever we see the green growth come up through the soil, we're gonna add a few more inches. And we're gonna do that over and over again, probably once a week until we reach the top of the bag. So I have the bag folded over here, and then I'll just unfold the bag as needed. And these are a little bit skinnier and tall. They're specifically for potatoes. And I think they might, never mind. I thought they had like a clear window. Oh wait, yes. Oh no. Oh, that's for easy harvesting. Okay, oh, let me close this back up. I don't think I ever opened this before. All right, 1 second. Anyways, so we've got 6 bags ready, 6 of these, and they'll grow multiple plants from the middle and will root out straight up the bag. I don't want to overcrowd it, so just 1 per bag. That's what we'll do. Those look good. We're gonna water them in. I have them strategically placed on top of weeds that are poking through. There can be a million layers of mulch in here and there's still gonna be weeds. So that'll help smother some of them. I gotta go through and pick them out again. Let me get the hose real quick. Find the, try cone, no. Sure, that'll work. It's gonna rain this afternoon, so We'll give them plenty of water. A couple things about potatoes. They are considered nightshades, just like a tomato plant or a pepper plant. And so if at some point in the season they start to get those blotchy, yellow, diseased-looking leaves and you're worried that they have blight, keep them away from your peppers and tomatoes. Spray them with copper fungicide over and over again. And if you see it on your peppers and tomatoes, spray them with copper fungicide as well. I found this, my first year gardening, I found this out, and everything had blight, and some of the things were turning to mush. It was insane, and I was freaking out. Copper fungicide actually helped bring some of those plants back. It wasn't super productive, but it was a good learning lesson. And so, yeah, just keep that in mind. These are away from my peppers and tomatoes, and I had potatoes in the front yard 2 years ago, actually, and that worked good. Those 3 are watered in thoroughly. Water from right here. Potatoes are one of the easiest things you can grow. You just plant them, add the dirt as needed, make sure they stay watered, but you don't have to go through and harvest over and over again. There's just one big harvest at the end. Sometimes it's nice to get that continual harvest from things like tomatoes and peppers. And then sometimes it's nice to have things that you don't have to do anything with. You don't have to come by and see if there's any ripe things you got to pick off before the plant goes to flower, or whatever, or the plant or the whatever gets too ripe. Yeah, anyways, these are nice, and I like the grow bags. So you can use a bed, but then whenever you accidentally don't harvest all of them and they overwinter and they start growing the next year, well, what if they're in the way? And then what if it's like, oh, I really don't want to pick you out of this bed and screw you up and put you somewhere else or throw you in the compost because you're a good healthy plant, but you're in the way. That's not where I want you. Or you gotta dig in with a shovel and search around and try to find them all. That can kind of be a pain to me. I don't find it super enjoyable. So I like the bags because you can dump them into a wheelbarrow, do your treasure hunt, and put the dirt back in the bag. I don't like putting the dirt back in the bag because a wheelbarrow, like when you're trying to pour liquid, and like when you're cooking something, you try to pour liquid from a cup into something else and there's no spout and it just goes everywhere. Yeah, there's no good way to put the dirt back into the grow bag other than scooping and putting it in. So that's one thing that's annoying, but at least I'm gonna get them all. Easier to harvest in a way. So feel free to like and subscribe and check back in a few months to see how these are doing. I'm gonna monitor them, add more soil, keep watering, that sort of thing, and we'll see what happens. I'm excited. Thanks for being here. See you later. Bye.